Fractions is a topic that many students are very afraid of, but really you don't have to. As long as you understand the meaning of fractions and you can apply some of the rules throughout, then you should have no problem mastering the skills. And fractions is a skill that is very important in mathematics. So let's revise some key concepts in this chapter so you can remember the topics really well. So first of all, let's look at what does the word fractions really mean. Fractions means equal parts of a whole. It can be written this way, two numbers separated by a line, and is usually written top-bottom. But sometimes you do see the number being written sideways, 1/2. So let's use a strawberry pie to further elaborate what 1/2 means. The number at the bottom is called denominator, and it indicates how many equal parts the whole is divided to. So in this case, the number is 2. It means the whole is divided into 2 equal parts. Next, let's look at the number on top. This is called numerator, and numerator indicates what is the number of equal parts that we are looking at. In this case, it's 1. It means we are looking at 1 equal part out of 2 parts. So we have 1/2 of the pie. But sometimes when the pie is indicated this way, students will be confused. What does the whole really look like? So many a times we will other parts that is not in the picture. So you see how big the whole look like. In this case, I have 1/2 of the pie. I have the bright color part and this part where it's decolored is not what I have. But this is the part that has to be included when I'm talking about the whole. The whole will have 2 equal parts, but I have only one part of them. This is how it looks like when we use a graphical representation. We will shade the number of parts indicated in the denominator, and you see that the whole does consist of 2 equal parts. Let's look at more real-life example. If I have 3/4 of a cake, it means to say the cake is cut into 4 equal parts. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I have 3 parts of them. I have 1 part, 2 parts, 3 parts of the cake. If I have 1/2 of the ruler, here I'm measuring the length. So the length of the ruler is divided into 2 equal parts. 1 part, 2 part. And I have 1 part of them. Let's look at 1/4 of 4 coins. So the whole can also be a set of objects. In this case, the whole refers to 4 coins. If I have 1/4 of the coins, it means to say I have 1 group out of 4 groups of the coins. So this is what I have. I have 1 coin. Next, we look at equivalent fractions. These are fractions with different numerators and denominators that represent the same value or proportion of the whole. 1/2 and 2/4 are equivalent fractions. Let's look at 1/2. It means the whole is cut into 2 equal parts and I have 1 part of them. And 2 quarters means the whole is cut into 4 equal parts and I have 2 parts of them. This side. So, equivalent fractions can be converted from one form to the other. 1/2 can be converted to 2 quarter and 2 quarter can be converted to 1/2. I will have to multiply the same number to both numerator and denominator. In this case, I multiply both by 2. What it really means is that the numerator that I have here is separated into 2 equal parts. I cut them further. So now you see that the left-hand side and the right-hand side is of the same size. Each slice is same as big. But not to forget, the whole will now have 4 equal parts. So that's the reason why when you multiply the number to the numerator, you must do the same to the denominator, because fractions refers to equal parts. I must make sure the whole has got numbers of equal parts. Next, we look at like fractions. Like fractions are fractions with the same denominator. So we look at left-hand side and right-hand side. I have 1 quarter and 3 quarters. So both fractions will have the equal parts which is of the same size. So each quarter that I'm looking at here is of the same size. So let's imagine if this is actually pizza. I would imagine that my pizza is cut into equal size. So each slice of the pizza is comparable to one another. So let's say I have one slice of pizza in the case of the left hand side, and I have 3 slices of pizza in the case of the right hand side. I know for sure when I have 3 slices, I have more pizza because each slice of the pizza is of the same size. Unlike fractions are fractions with different denominator. So for example, I have 1/2 and 2/5. Left hand side, I have only 1 slice of the cake. Right hand side, I have 2 slices of the cake. But in this case, 1/2 is bigger, as you can see from the diagram. This is because 1/2 is divided into 2 equal parts, whereas 2/5 is divided into 5 equal parts. So each slice is of different sizes. So this is the case for unlike fractions. If it's represented in the fraction model, you can see that the left-hand side compared to the right-hand side, each part is of different sizes. Now let's look at proper fractions. This is fraction in which the numerator is smaller than the denominator. Take for example, 4/5, the numerator 4, it's smaller than the denominator 5. So this fractions is always smaller than 1 whole. Take for an example, the whole is divided into 5 equal parts, and we have 4 parts of them. So you compare it with the actual cake. This is how it looks like. It is smaller than 1 whole cake. Improper fractions is fractions in which the numerator is greater than or equal to the denominator. So let's look at the example on the right hand side. I have some cake here, and the cake obviously is bigger than 1 whole. So let's find out how big the cake is. What is a fraction to represent this cake? So I can see that on the right hand side, the cake is cut into 2 equal parts. So Let me first make the size of the cake into 2 equal parts. The whole cut into 2 equal parts. And if I have 2 parts of them, I will have 1 whole cake. In this case, I have 3 parts of them, and in which the whole only have 2 equal parts. That is the fraction of 3 halves. 3 halves is an improper fraction. When you see an improper fraction, you either have a whole cake. In this case, the numerator and denominator will be of the same number. Or you have a cake that is larger than a whole.